whenever we even talk about things like mental illness issues, it's a real problem. And frankly, I have to say, thank goodness for art, because it provides a space for that.
The core concept of the performing arts and the fine arts are so critical, very critical, because my experience had shown that it becomes a validation of expression for students, when they have certain skill sets or having an outlet of their emotions is what I have found the arts to be, whether it's visual or the performing arts. It allows students to express themselves in a variety of different ways. Plus, it validates who they are.
Music, for me, I define music as the best way to improve people's life in society. That's how I define music. Because I noticed that when you're suffering from trauma, if you just listen to a music, obviously you become healed.
We've become a society that values rational thought sometimes over the affective or emotional side of things. And while we don't want to be guided in our decisions on pure emotion, we do want to be guided and understand that we were created with that emotional side of us. And it's a beautiful, it's a wonderful thing, and it's something that can be quite helpful if we have those connections. And what better way to try to foster those connections than through the arts?
I just think that we all crave connection, we all crave expression, and it's not a surprise that I haven't always been creative or expressive in life, because I haven't always been in touch with what I was feeling in the first place. I was very disconnected from self. So if I'm disconnected from self, if I'm numbing or I'm ignoring what I'm feeling, then how can I be creative? Exactly. How can I express?
A lot of artists were, sort of strapped to their houses or strapped to their studios, and they were put in situations where they still wanted to create something, but because of the mood and because of the situation, right? Maybe they felt like they didn't have their typical artistic inspiration.
I remember during COVID that a lot of my relief came through music. I remember blasting out to different kinds of music. I began to understand how music could change the very nature of how I felt, even for a time. You can look back throughout history and realize how important music and the arts and what they can actually do, and how they end up offering pieces of hope. At least something there for us to latch on to.
There is a sort of non-attachment in the arts that I think that is healthy.
That's very interesting. I love that.
Because it's the process. Yeah. And I'm not trying to create something all the time for external validation. There's plenty of that. But ultimately, to me, an artist is someone who is creative and expressive, and they are in the present moment.